I'm
All right,
recording.
who's the host?
You.
Nice.
One of you two.
It's
Okay,
George.
me. Let's go.
Oh, that's sad. What a bad day it is to be me.
I am the host. I am the
Yeah.
host.
Yes, this has been established.
Look at me.
What?
I'm
Look
the
at you,
captain now.
the host.
Rabbit,
Oh.
what's that you got in your hand there?
I have got a
He's gaming.
controller. I'm gaming.
Bro's gaming. He's gaming.
He's
What are you playing?
gaming instead
I'm
of
He's
talking
playing-
to us.
He's playing Tetris.
All right, I'm playing.
No. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
No,
it's
it's
fine. You
not.
can play Tetris.
No, it's not.
No, we don't game around here.
We're not gamers, apparently.
We shrimply do not game.
We do not game. We do not forget. We always
Yeah,
remember.
we don't.
Okay, I'm gonna fight you, Rabbit.
All right, come on. Bring it on.
What
Bring
the
it.
heck? What the heck? What the heck? That was actually really cool. What the heck? All right. Let's get started. What's up, everybody? This is Infinite Nonsense. My name is George 2D, accompanied by Somebunny and Rabbit, where we talk about things nonsense infinitely. But yeah, no, I'm today's host. How you guys doing? But yeah, let's start off with Rabbit. Rabbit, how's your week been?
Absolutely insane. Like, oh my god, everything that could conglomerate into one location for deadlines did.
Oh shit, is that for work?
Yeah, that is my personal life there. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
everything conglomerating all into one spot for deadlines is not fun. But aside from that, I have tacos and I am happy. Homemade.
Tacos. Oh, let's go. That's the best kind. Nice, man. Happy for you. Well, at least with the deadlines, are they all all done now, or are they still going on, or what?
They're mostly done. They were all due basically today, tomorrow.
Okay.
So
there we go. Nice.
But
All right.
I've been enjoying Repo a lot.
He's trying to cut you off. He's trying to cut you off, Rabbit.
Anyway, yeah, that's been my week.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, so you're like, I was gonna make a dumb joke. I was gonna say, so you're dead in line or some shit like that. My fault. This would be a bad joke.
Yeah, that's me.
Dude, what was he waiting in line for? Was it the new iPhone?
Yes, the new iPhone.
Ew, no. Who likes Apple?
Speaking of, is anybody selling an iPhone? I need an iPhone.
All right, viewers, if you're selling an iPhone, contact Somebunny. He's interested, apparently. But no, Rabbit. I've also I've been loving Repo too. Such a good game.
Oh, one final thing.
So
No.
Aside from being done with playing Repo, I found out that there's a quote unquote format that OBS will record in that allows me to create markers in the base setting.
Ooh.
It's called Hybrid MP4. It's been there for a while. I just didn't know what it really was. Effectively, it's a as Pat described it to me, it's an MKV file, but in MP4 format.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if for whatever reason your recording ever gets cut off in the middle of it, it'll just cut off because it doesn't need to render after the fact and thus won't corrupt like a standard MP4 encoding. But it allows you to actually set markers. So if you're doing a recording itself, like what I've been doing lately, and you want to grab like, oh, that was a memorable moment, I'm going to mark that spot on my video timeline so that when I go to edit it, oh, that's going to be a good short spot or something like that. I'll have that reminder.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool. We'll talk about that after the podcast. I want to do that. That sounds really cool.
Rabbit is learning, and I'm proud of him.
I'm learning.
No, it's just because clipping in itself, it's nice to clip something, but like when you are looking back on a recording and you try to find the exact spot that clip moment happened, it's a pain in the ass.
I'm
Mhm.
having a
sure it is
marker.
nice to clip things.
Shut up, Zoom. And it'd be
What?
nice to have an
What?
actual
You
visible marker. You
wait,
know.
What?
you can clip things on your OBS. You realize that, right?
And what's your point?
Oh,
Are you saying it like you can't?
I'm
rabbit,
saying it
rabbit,
like I don't, brother.
rabbit. Don't
Oh,
feed into it. Don't
Yeah,
I
feed
this
will
into
is
it.
this is
feed
a matter
some if
of
I
I'm
want to.
simply better than you. I
Oh,
simply
what?
do not do such things. I do not stoop to such low levels.
He's not a peasant like us, rabbit.
Yes, exactly. I'm
Yeah,
not a
We're
pissant.
peasants.
I am nothing but lower than dirt peasants.
Speaking
Peasants.
of dirt,
Yeah, Zoom. How was your week been? How have you been, dude? How you doing?
okay, now I'm hurt.
What? Why?
Um, I don't think I've done too much this week. I kind of like collapsed yesterday. That was cool.
What? Are you
What?
okay?
What
What?
happened?
Yeah, I'm fine. I didn't. Uh, I don't know what was wrong, but I kind of just like I did not do well very briefly, and then was unconscious, and now I'm fine.
Are you saying you took a nap or did you just like fall on the ground?
Well, I made it to the bed. I did make it to the bed.
That's good.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind
Were
of.
you like kneeling on the floor and you woke up and you were just had your head on the bed and the rest of you was
Uh,
on the floor? Or what do you mean? Kind of.
it was
You
it was just
mean?
my legs hanging off of it. I made it mostly onto the bed.
Oh man.
I'm
Oh
Hmm.
well.
fine. Everything's fine. Everything's
Well,
fine.
I'm happy that you were able to at least get to your bed and get better at
Yeah,
least from your
I
day to
don't
day. So yeah.
I don't know what was going on.
But I
But I
mean,
got water.
you got water. But I mean, at least you're here, so that's good. You know,
Hmm.
alive
Sadly,
and
I,
well.
I I didn't have reason to cancel on you. Sadly.
Sadly, it's all good. But yeah, okay, cool. For me, I've been out of town for a bit. I just got back a couple days ago. Went to go visit Christy. Um, yeah.
Did
Hopefully, I
you go
think.
to the indoor zoo?
N-
The indoor zoo is indoor zoo.
no, it's a. I get it. I get it. No, rabbit, piss off. But we did go to the aquarium though, and that was really cool. In
That's just an
Washington.
indoor zoo, man.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right. Yes. Actually, not really, because there's an outdoor part of it.
Okay, and there's an indoor part of a regular zoo too. What's your point?
That's true. Yeah, that's fair. I guess. I did get to see a lot of aquatic animals. That was really cool. I got to see an otter. I wanted to
I
watch it for
Ooh.
some reason.
unfortunately, I have to see that like every week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
that's
time
true.
they stream, I see them.
Yeah,
And every
same.
time we kiss, I swear I could fly.
Okay, relax, bro, relax. Um, but no, it was really cool. I've never been to Seattle. I've always wanted to go see Seattle, but I never had a reason to. So that was really cool. They recently did like a huge facelift to the waterfront of Seattle downtown, and it looks really nice. Felt like I was in a different world. That's how nice it was. But
Huh.
no, it was nice. It was cool. It's a lot of cool things there. Do not miss it because paying for parking anywhere there was absolute dog shit. Like as soon as like it's funny because like the way they have it set it up, like in the parking garages, like the first hour or two is like, oh, it's like $5. Not bad, not bad. But you hit the 3 hour mark, $50. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, isn't it like even if you hit a minute after the 2 hour mark?
Yeah, you're done. Like you're done, Brody. Cough up the money or you're leaving your car there.
Yeah,
But
I don't enjoy going to cities for that specific reason. Everything it just
yep.
nickels and dimes you.
Exactly, and I hated it, dude. Like every time, um, so cool thing was is that one of my closest friends, Marshall, him and his wife were there for a wedding. Just happenstance to just be there at the same time I was there, so we actually had pretty much double dated. Going around town exploring because they had never been to Seattle either, so it was kind of cool for all of us to kind of experience it together. Um, it was just, having to pay for parking. It's just like the buzzkill every time. Like after we did something really cool, gotta go back to the car because the other thing we got to do is in this side of the city. It was too far to walk. So, but one thing I can say is that I actually was genuinely surprised in how much I loved um, the nature aspect of Washington, the tall trees, the um, mountainscapes in the background. When it wasn't raining, it was actually really nice, and that's just something you don't see in Texas. And yeah, it was really cool just kind of see that for the first time.
You know what's weird?
But yeah, what's up?
Hmm.
That's like the only like the Northwest is like the only area in the US that I have never been.
Really, the Pacific Northwest?
Yeah.
I
That
would
is
I would
crazy.
say it's worth it for a couple of days, but I would never live there, in my opinion, because
I
I like the sun. I like clear skies.
That's fair.
I don't like the
That's
rain that much. I
See,
can deal with the
I
rain,
would like it
but
there.
yeah. Then yeah, you would like it if you like gloomy weather, if you like
Oh,
rain.
gloomy weather is the
Oh.
best.
Yeah, if you guys like that shit, you would love Washington. You'd absolutely love it.
Yeah,
Um,
but
It
see,
gets too
I
cold for
see
me.
the worst part is I say this and then I'm like, if I were to move anywhere right now, it would be straight up Arizona.
uh, I don't think it gets gloomy there that often, hombre.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of a yeah.
Okay, all right. Well,
Look, the
all
hot
right,
weather and being dry over in Arizona, perfect.
perfect.
Dude, I love
Also,
Arizona weather.
I
Same.
I feel kind of stupid, and I was really bad in with fucking geography. But Jug showed me like a picture earlier today, and I was like, "Wait, those are the Rockies?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No wonder it's so fucking cold and rainy. The Rockies are like right there." It's like, wait a minute.
Hold
Uh,
on. There's
yeah.
mountains in this state.
It finally clicked. I'm like, oh, I'm that close to the Rockies. That's fucking why. It's so cold and rainy, but no, but seeing like the mountainscapes, that was really cool. And again, like I said, Texas, you don't get that. We have hill country, and that's like the most mountainous we can get. I mean, we also have the Big Bend Canyon, but I mean, that's not next to any remote or any kind of civilization. It's because you have to like drive a good while to get there, and then also hike a couple hours to get to to Big Bend. But to be able to see like the mountainscapes from like Seattle or from like that part of Washington where we were at is really kind of cool. Um, but yeah, nature wise, beautiful. It's actually the most beautiful place I've ever been to so far. I can say nature, yeah, it's up there. One of my favorite places, my favorite things to see. Um, but anyway, enough about me. All right, today's topic is something that I've actually came up with a few days ago, and
Mhm.
it's actually related to repo of all
Oh
things.
no. I'm glad
Um,
I've never played this.
well, it's not necessarily related to repo, but it's kind of if you want it to be. So the topic today is so far 2025 has been pretty pretty active with a lot of good games this year. Now, the
I've
topic I
literally
wanted to
heard of
talk about.
0 games that came out this year, man.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say, what game that has come out so far in 2025 surprised you the most?
Craft mine.
Okay, all right. Rabbit,
Surprised me?
surprised you as in it did so well or did much better than you thought it would. Like popularity wise, I guess,
Ooh.
money wise, that kind of thing. Like, what is one game that's come out so far in 2025? And I guess we could date this to make it make sense for the viewers. Today's April 1st, by the way. Also,
I
April
kind of
Fools.
just did with Craft mine, brother.
Oh, my fault. I don't. Were you being serious?
That brother doesn't know about Craft mine. God damn.
Nope.
He doesn't know about Craft mine.
Yeah.
Absolutely a
Who
disappointment.
could ever forget about Craftmine? George, I have no idea what he's talking
I'm talking about fucking Craft mine, brother.
about.
You craft mines. You go into them. You finish them. You level up.
You
You
go into the
do it
mine, you
again.
craft, brother. Like, what else? No, but no, yeah, like any game, it can be indie, it can be AAA, it doesn't matter. Any video game that's come out as surprising the
In
most, like
the,
what would that be?
I'm going to be fully honest with you. Aside from Repo, I don't know any games that came. I cannot specifically think of a game that came out this year. I have
Um,
just thought about another game that came out this year, but it does not surprise me that it did well.
Okay, what is that game?
Yakuza,
Okay,
oh, the
okay.
the pirate
like
one.
Pirates in Hawaii, baby.
I forgot about that.
I did too until I was speaking.
I didn't. I forgot that they came out this year. Yeah. Okay, that was a surprise. I think to a lot of people
Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
with fucking pirates. All right, Rabbit. What about you?
What other games came out
Oh
this year?
God, I can think of other surprises as to how bad some games have done that released here, but
Or how about this? We can
good.
we can
Hmm.
expand to that, Rabbit. If you want to, we can expand to the games that performed shitty this year.
Well,
If
I'm
you want
I'm
to.
also I'm also trying to stall for time, what like you guys
All
were
right.
trying to
Well,
look up what release.
I'm not looking up anything. I was waiting on Zoom. I already have a
No, no,
game in
no,
mind that I
Yeah,
want to talk
first of all,
about.
I wasn't buying any time. I was
no,
expressing that, in
no.
fact, I
You just
couldn't think
don't
No,
of
no, no.
realize
games.
it. You don't
So
And
you
then
realize
weren't
that you were
couldn't
buying.
too.
buying time for
You
me.
were not buying time. He was selling
Oh,
time,
we
Rabbit.
were buying time for you. I guess we could talk about Assassin's Creed that came out. That
Oh,
was
the Japan one, Japanese one.
evidently a pretty big flop, all in all.
What's funny? I heard. Well, again, I don't. I have never. I didn't even know it was coming out this year. I've lost track of all for the Assassin's Creed games ever since the Ezio
It
trilogy. I stopped tracking it. Um, I've heard it was actually pretty good, but
Okay,
you've been
I'm
hearing
going to
it's bad.
clarify something here. In terms of Steam purchases and uses, it
Oh,
was a
okay,
huge fucking downgrade.
okay.
Huh.
In terms of subscriptions and other things, which really shouldn't be considered in their like, this is how we did, i.e., like, hey, we are on Xbox Game Pass. That I don't think that should really be considered. But regardless, Ubisoft had to sell part of their company, and I think that's telling of how
I
well
f-
their big release did for the year.
I forgot
From
about them
my
doing that.
from my understanding, for how well they needed to have that game to perform, it was never going to perform that well, and those negotiations and talks were happening behind the scenes for a long time already. It's just now that it's been confirmed as to how poor Assassin's Creed did. Well, Tencent now owns like 25% of the
I'm
company.
so annoyed that Tencent is involved.
Yeah, and the fact
God.
that it's Tencent makes me very deeply upset.
Yeah,
But the fact that Ubisoft failed makes me very happy regardless. And this is just not Ubisoft specifically, it's any big game company. They deserve to fail at this point in time. They have built up
It-
an empire on quality that they have just decided to throw away.
yeah. I 100% agree with that.
They deserve to fail.
I I feel like most AAA, I'm not gonna say all because there's some still decent ones, but most AAA companies have really lost. They kind of what's that phrase? They're out of touch. I think with what
I'm going to be
gamers.
honest with you. I don't even think
What?
it's so much they're out of touch. I think it's the fact that they are fucking over their own development teams.
Oh, that
That
is where you're going to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with that.
it's not just that. They also pretty much tried to hype up the idea of that this is all based on actual history when you kind of look at the trail and it's like if you didn't say that, you'd probably be doing a whole lot better cuz it's a fantasy game anyway. Make things up as you want
yeah,
to. Why are you trying to say, yes, this is true reality, the history, we're going to
because
be teaching it to you?
in terms of what you're looking like what we're discussing here and that one specifically, they initially started that way, where it was, while it was not like this isn't the course of events that happened, it was these characters and this information was completely factual. Like, you got information about the locations you were going to that was just information on it. Like, straight up, there were people who were taking this information and fucking passing school tests at them in high school because they were playing Assassin's Creed. Like,
Oh,
they
really?
Yep.
started as something that was not just
Well,
based in history, but gave you information about it.
which is
They have
fine.
slowly shifted from that to just oh, we're in general history time. There's some factual stuff, and there's a lot of fantasy stuff now. Congratulations.
Yeah,
They
and
have
it's
shifted so far
fine.
from that.
It's fine if they have actual events and factual stuff in it. That's okay. But if the entire premise is based upon this is entirely based on history, and it's just like, and then you find out no, it's not. Probably 50% of it is
Well,
the part that you're mainly interacting with isn't for the most part. Like
that's kind of where I was getting at
you're
with like
false advertising.
the early on ones. Again, the whole Guild of Assassins killing these people may
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
that's not reality in
yeah,
terms of
but
who they were. It didn't matter who
everything
they
else
were.
about that game was fucking factual as hell, and
Yeah,
I really have to applaud them on that. But they 100% swerved away, and I think they really should have, when they swerved away from that, swerved away in their advertisement and informationals on it too.
right.
Like
I can
I agree with you here, just to be clear. Like I am saying I agree with your sentiment here.
I can again with me only coming off of from like the last game I played was Assassin's Creed Revelations. Um,
The last good one.
yeah, no, the Ezio trilogy was fucking it's untouchable. You can't beat that. I did have an opportunity to play Assassin's Creed 3, which is where you're the son of a Native American during the was it the Civil War? No, not the Civil War. It was the War for Independence, right? America versus Britain. And you play as
Revolutionary War.
there you go. Thank you, Rabbit. I couldn't think of the word. My fault.
Every war is
But yeah,
revolutionary if you're strong enough.
okay. Okay.
That
But no,
doesn't
like I
sound bad.
you sound fine. You sound a little bit different, but it's not bad.
Who?
But I
What?
I found I found like what
I'm
Sim is
sorry, was
saying,
I just
right?
told I
Like
sound bad?
No,
no,
I
Rabbit.
was wondering why I
Oh,
sounded off in my headset.
Yeah.
I listen to myself when I talk.
I forget you listen to yourself like some sort of freak.
I am.
He's an audiophile. Leave him alone.
That's he's a babidophile.
I'm
A
an
babbitophile.
MP3. Thank you very much.
My fault. My fault, original gangster. But yeah, I totally see where you're coming from, Sim. And I think that's part of why I stopped playing Assassin's Creed 2 is because I love the historical aspects. Like all of Ezio's trilogy is during the Renaissance, of Italy and the bourgeoisie and all the other stuff,
I loved that's there's a reason I said it was the last good one.
Yeah, yeah. And Ezio as a character was just phenomenal. He's a well-written character too. I loved his character from starting as this young punk teenager to then becoming like this grandmaster assassin, all the way from Assassin's Creed 2 to Revelations. It was really good, and I loved it. Brotherhood was my favorite. I
Brother,
love that
same
game.
actually.
Yeah,
I
S-
really loved Brotherhood.
because I feel like that was Ezio in his prime, and also the fact you got to build the convent, the convent
Dude,
or
that was my
whatever.
favorite part.
Yeah, that was my favorite part too. You're kind of like building your own little army of assassins, and I'm like, yeah, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, okay. I love the fact that you not only could build them, but you could use them to,
yeah,
assassinate your targets. There was one where I don't remember what the building was, but big building with the dome on top. Halfway down the dome, you can just eke a small quarter of the screen onto your assassination target and have one of
yeah,
your guys do
it was
it.
so fucking amazing.
And it
And
skips like half the difficulty of that mission because you don't
absolutely,
actually go in.
well, it's funny because like
Fantastic.
those convent missions where you build like a base or whatever, those are optional. Believe it or not,
Wait,
you
those
don't.
were optional?
Well, some of them were. There was like some that were mandatory to access that area, but like certain areas were actually optional. So you wouldn't get that benefit. So like if you didn't do them, you could actually make the game harder on yourself without even knowing it. But like for me, as like the kind of player I am, I like to explore every little inch of the map that I'm able to. And like I would be like, oh shit, another convent mission. Oh, cool, cool. Another, establish another
That
hideout. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Like it was cool,
that was one of the games where I was like, yeah, I like exploring things.
Yep,
Because it felt
absolutely.
rewarding to explore them.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah, no,
that's
100%.
something a lot of open world games lately struggle with. It's just like we're open world, but there's nothing to do in it.
Look at you, Pokemon. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I just
Now where am
There has
I?
been
Oh.
one. Sorry, there have been 2 open world Pokemon games. Technically, only one. Because
Yeah,
I
no,
will
there's
not.
only one. Only
I
one.
will not call Legends Arceus open world.
I love Arceus.
Oh, that's what you're
Great
going
game.
with. I thought you were talking about Gen 8. And it's like, no, that's not open world at all.
No, fucking. Is it Gen 9 then? Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, Scarlet Violet Gen
That is
9.
a dog shit piece of open world. Like, don't get me wrong, they did okay, but the actual quality of the game is dog shit.
For the first actual attempt at doing the whole world as a open world, I give them some kudos to that. At the
Just
same
want to say
time,
this. That,
it's a very large organization, and I understand the arguments of they
Rabbit
got
gets
lots of
heated when
money.
we talk about Pokemon.
Listen,
Hmm?
listen, listen. I just want to say, I will give them credit for the fact that it is their first, like, true, quote unquote, true open world. Not that it was truly open world, oddly enough. And by that I mean there was what, like 2 loading screens, but meh.
Yeah, the only loading screens that I can think of
Area 0 and
and the
Mesagoza.
Elite Four.
Elite 4 didn't have a loading screen really. That was
Yeah,
just
it
a
did.
building.
You had to go through the tunnel, but that was a loading screen if I remember correctly.
You 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 no.
Faded to black and unfaded from black. That's a loading screen.
No. That's no, you didn't have to go through the tunnel. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
To get to the pathway to the Elite Four, yeah, you did.
You just fucking climb over the wall, man.
You could have done that too.
Like that is not a required loading screen. That is you leaving Mesagoza. That I mean, yes, it is a loading screen. That's you entering the main world again.
Yeah.
That's one of the 2 loading screens I was referring to.
Okay.
Got it.
It's not specifically for the Elite Four. It's just attached to the rest of the world.
Gotcha.
But either way, it was open world at that point because some open world things do have loading screens like that. Do not blame it.
Yes. Same thing with
it's
like
still a
going into
dog shit game.
buildings.
And the fact that it is a AAA developer, regardless, yes, they get a like 1% leeway for it being their first open world game.
That's it.
However,
I agree.
they fucked it so bad still. Like, the game itself is fine. The performance is dog shit.
Yes.
Like,
No
that is
arguments.
my problem with it. Like, the actual game is fine. It's a Pokemon game, through and through. They could have done so much better performance-wise. Especially when you compare it to other open world games that released on the same goddamn system.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Oh, it's funny we talk about Nintendo because when I was visiting Christy, the direct for one of the Nintendo directs happened, and she was like really excited about the games we're going to announce, and I'm like, I'm over here sitting there like, where's Mario RPG 2? You know, that obviously that wasn't going to happen. Like, you know, that was
Motherfucker just refuses to play the Mario and Luigi games instead.
Get out of here.
True.
The objectively better ones.
Okay. But she got really excited when they announced that Tamagotchi Life thing.
Oh, Tamagotchi Life. Yeah.
Yeah, that game, because apparently that was a game that came out a while back on the DS, and she like loved it. So now the fact that they're bringing it back,
good.
I missed out on it, sadly. Like, it's one that looked fun. Never got to play it.
She's like really excited to play it.
It's more fun the more Miis that you have, and that's really because then you see the interactions between the characters and stuff that you created instead of just random Miis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have an answer to George's question now.
What's up?
We finally bought you enough time?
Yeah, you bought me enough time.
I'm proud of you.
We bought him enough time.
Yeah. I was legitimately looking through a list of all the games that released this year. Some of them.
Hey, could you send that my way? Because I haven't found anything.
Yeah, sure. So some of them are technically released this year, but they're not really. And the reason why I say that is because
1.0.
No, it's they were released on another console before, and now they're released on a new console. Like it was
that's
PC
not even
exclusive.
technically. That's a straight up no.
Yeah,
That-
exactly. Well, it's on the list. That's why it's on the list. It's like a new game ended up uh Wuthering Waves released on PS5 January 2nd.
uh,
And it's like,
uh,
yeah, but that was
Oh,
out last year. So
yeah,
yeah.
that's a
it's like technically okay, it's a new release for that platform, but it's not
oh
really a
my
new
fucking
release.
god.
What?
What?
A game that I actually adore came out this year. I didn't even think about it.
It's okay. What was the game?
Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. I
Ah.
Yeah,
I
I heard about that one. Yeah.
I fucking love it. I love the first Heroes of Hammerwatch. I love the first Hammerwatch. I love the second Hammerwatch. I love the Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. I love this series of games. I love the fact that the Heroes of Hammerwatch games and the Hammerwatch games, while are separate in gameplay styles, are both still interconnected story-wise, which is really cool.
That's
I,
actually kind of cool. Yeah.
so the general gist of it is like the different games are you are different parties of adventurers sent off by I think you're all sent off by the same king, or else it's just sent off by world leaders to
Mhm.
kill various dragons that are destroying the world essentially, or harbingers of the end of the world. I don't quite remember, but you're sent off to kill them all so that the Dark Lord can't rise or some bullshit. I don't really remember, or else it's so the Dark Lord becomes vulnerable. Again, don't really remember, but it's really neat because each one is a different perspective killing their dragon.
That's pretty cool.
And the Hammerwatch 2 is a direct sequel to Hammerwatch 1 in that you are the same party that just killed their dragon now heading back to the kingdom.
Oh, okay.
And then I
Ah.
think getting sent off to kill one of the other dragons that the mission failed on. I don't quite remember. Again, I fucking loved the game. I actually never beat that one, to be fair. Sorry, I like those games,
No,
and
no,
I'm
that
sad I
that
didn't think
No,
about
no,
it.
it's good. I mean, I was waiting for you to continue, but you know.
Like, I need to go back and finish Hammerwatch 2, because
Rabbit
Hammerwatch
want
1
you
was
to
fantastic.
Rabbit's wanting to buy more time soon.
And then Heroes of Hammerwatch, to be fair, Heroes of Hammerwatch, it's roguelite. It's one of those games, but
Oh, it's a
the Hammerwatch
roguelike.
and Hammerwatch 2 ones are straight generic RPG, not generic RPGs, but they're RPGs versus
Oh,
roguelikes.
those generic
And then Heroes of
RPGs.
Hammerwatch are the roguelike ones, and they're really fun. And I highly recommend you play all of them. The controls for the first game, specifically Hammerwatch, are dog shit, but it's still fun. It's very Gauntlet-esque if you remember those games. So
Love
I
those
like
games.
if you enjoyed those, you may actually find joy in this game too.
Blue Knight needs food badly.
Yellow Wizard needs food badly.
Oh man, those Gauntlet games are good. Okay, I'll
I
definitely check it out.
I would highly recommend it. Specifically Hammerwatch and Hammerwatch, not so much Hammerwatch 2. Hammerwatch very Gauntlet-like. Uh, Heroes of Hammerwatch very Gauntlet-like in its roguelike fashion still. Um,
Gotcha.
Hammerwatch 2 not so much. Hammerwatch 2 definitely falls closer to a standard RPG. But and then Heroes of Hammerwatch kind of goes back to the more Gauntlet-esque gameplay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll add to the list of games I'm gonna get. Um,
All right,
there was a
I really
there's a
do
game that came out.
enjoy games.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, yeah,
Sorry,
continue.
sorry.
I need to stop. Stop letting me talk.
You're, no, you're good. There's a game that came out recently that I want to play. I think it's called Berserker. Um, it's like another Souls-like game, but it looked pretty
Uh,
cool.
what is it?
Um, Berserker, the first Berserker or
Oh,
whatever.
the first Berserker Kazan?
Yeah,
Kazan. There we
Kazan.
go.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
literally just saw this on my like Steam front page when I was looking for games that came out like this year. There's
Mhm.
another one I want to try out that is supposed to be Souls like that got yelled at for its name.
Uh-oh.
Called AI Limit. You can see
Oh,
I've
that
heard of
one.
that
you can
game.
see why it may have gotten yelled at for its name.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's more anime-ish though, right?
It
It's
is more
very
anime. It
anime,
follows
yeah.
closer to
Okay.
oh my god,
Okay.
Code Law? No, what's it called? Code
Code Geass?
something.
Called Vane.
Code Vein.
Code
That's
Vein.
it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's similar in art style, the anime art style for that, but it is still Souls-like in general.
Gotcha.
which
Okay.
it's also $32, and I was like, I really want that, can't afford it, but I want it.
Yeah,
You want that.
for most Souls-like players, if you really enjoy Souls-like games, I heard it was okay. Like
Yeah,
not phenomenal, not great, but I mean, hey, if you like the style, do it.
yeah. One, I like the art style because I like those, and two, I like Souls. Like some of them can be dog shit. I'm looking at you. What Hellpoint? I think it's called. Hellpoint was pretty bad.
Hell
Oh,
point.
Hellpoint was pretty bad. Like it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but it did not play well. It was clunky as all hell.
Clunky as all hell.
It was bad
Okay.
enough that it stays in my memory as a game. Not fun. Bad.
fair.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So, I have managed to find at least one other idea as to
Boy.
surprisingly doing very well. So, the first one is Monster Hunter Wilds.
Is what?
Definitely that game for sure.
Yeah, I'm so
Was
glad we know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Rabbit,
you
you
do,
like
right?
cut out when you
Oh,
said
did
I
the
think
I?
that
main
was
game.
the joke. I think that's the
Yeah,
joke,
yeah.
George.
It was Monster Hunter
Oh, this
Wilds.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
This son of a bitch.
My recording's actually picking it up the entire time too.
Oh, great. I get to hear it in the playback. That's nice.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what it is for
I'm
real.
so glad I'll never get to hear it.
Monster Hunter Wilds is what I was saying.
Oh my god, how did we all miss that as a game that came out this
No,
year?
I was gonna say that for my game, but I'll let Rabbit have it.
Oh,
'Cause,
I
yeah,
was doing it
I have.
jokingly.
Oh, I actually have some thoughts on that game, but I mean, it's the same thoughts I've talked about with you guys, but I'll let people know.
Yeah, fair,
Yeah.
fair,
It's a
fair.
good game. It's dog shit production.
Well, okay.
Publishing, sorry,
My
not production.
my big thing with it was more my perception of Monster Hunter just in general was
Yeah.
soured mostly due to interactions with other people. So
Yeah.
I decided to give it a try to spite myself, being like I should give this a fair shake all the same.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it all the same, and I'm glad that it's better than what I was going in expecting. The combat for the melee, though, garbage. I hate it. It is not my kind of playstyle. Bow, superb. Absolutely. I love the bow.
Dude's just
Uh,
never played Monster Hunter in his life. He doesn't get it.
you're right. This is. I played it once
He
before, but it was
he
all of like 5 minutes of
he
Rising.
does not understand big dick energy.
You're right. I don't.
He just doesn't get it.
Oh my god. All right. Is that
But
all your points,
the
Rabbit? Or
other the other one uh was Headliners. So
Also,
yeah.
a fair game.
yeah, I was expecting Headliners to kind of go the way of Lethal Company and all these other uh, 4-player co-op kind of
And it did.
games, and it didn't. Not for me.
It got overshadowed immediately by Repo.
I was about to say, yeah,
Yeah,
Repo
it's
kind of.
true. It did
I,
get
I,
overshadowed by Revo, but
And I
there's
don't
new
wanna.
get me wrong.
updates still coming in for Headliners that
Yeah.
is actually gonna. The people I think are still waiting till May because that's when their big updates gonna occur for Headliners, and they're showcasing some of that in the Discord, which I'm definitely excited for. Like the shop is gonna be
Yeah.
changed to be more like an RNG shop, not just a little
That
computer, but an actual room that you walk into to
that would
buy
be cool.
stuff. Yeah.
Not necessarily the room thing. That I feel like is
Well,
eh.
you also will be gaining money based on the photos that you take instead of in between rounds.
That is an interesting, or could be an interesting change. I enjoyed Headliners, but beating it the first time, well, beating it, quote unquote,
Yeah.
first time around, good enough for me. Never need to touch it again.
Yeah, until they
I
come out with like 5 other large monsters and new maps.
Yeah, the large monster variety sucked.
Yeah, I mean there was only 3, I think, when you played it.
Four?
Was there 4?
4.
And you had the
You know,
Slender
we had
Man, you had the
we had Foot
tornado.
McKenzie, we had
Foot McKenzie.
we had Mothra, we had
Oh, so you
Twist
did it
and
with
Shout,
Mothra. So
and
yeah.
then
Yeah,
um,
right, you did it
Wishes You Were
right when
Godzilla.
Mothra. Yeah,
Yeah, it
when
was like
Mothra
the
first
day
appeared.
after or the day that Mothra came out.
Right. Yeah, they're going to be adding a lot more variety to that. Because I will say, with
Yeah.
the limited amount that they currently have, the RNG, where I mean, one night I played with Ark, Turtle, and uh, Mikkel, and the sheer amount of times that we ended up getting the tornado in a row was
Uh,
insane.
yeah, that tornado sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Aaron. I also play with Aaron. But yeah, it was just
Doxed.
the hell.
Dude, I will say his last name, social security number, home address right fucking now. You want
Hey,
you want his funny credit card numbers plus the 3 digits on the back?
sorry guys. Sorry, Mud, if you're watching this. My fault, homie.
It's boop.
Yeah.
It's
But
4202-1374-1823-4808. Oh, and the last 3
I'm not.
digits are 379.
I'm not bleeping that out.
For legal reasons, I want to say if that is somebody's credit card number, I am sorry.
It's a good thing I
Legal
have
disclaimer
markers
here.
I can mark on this video, so George knows exactly where this moment is.
That's crazy. He thinks I'm actually gonna look at that marker.
It's kind of very visible. It's very visible
No, I'm
if
just
you're
kidding.
using
I'm kidding.
DaVinci.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But uh, so Headliners, I played it like once, and I enjoyed it for what it was. Um, but I think it was because of like Soom said, like when I played Repo first, and had I played Headliners first, I probably would have enjoyed it more. But Repo just does everything right, where Lethal Company and Headliners and any game in that genre can't seem to get right. And that is having fucking fun.
Okay, so
Now,
I want to very much clarify something here. All 3 games fall into the 4 idiots having or being stupid category,
yeah,
right? There are
Basically.
3 different tones, mostly 2 different tones here. One is shits and giggles, one is somewhat serious.
yeah.
And you're kind of comparing bananas and grapefruits here.
So on the basis of the whole game, like style, they're all the same. You collect loot, whatever,
Uh,
a quota or whatever.
there's a reason they're the same genre, they're different styles.
I'm not.
It's
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not gonna say they're different. They
It's
are
like
different styles.
comparing
Yes.
different creature collections games to each
yeah,
other.
it's
Yeah.
comparing Digimon to Pokemon.
But the thing, I think my point still stands. Repo is fun, and we have the analytics to prove that. More people are playing Repo hand over fist than both Lethal Company and Headliners.
Now, is that
That
currently or peak?
I think currently,
I was
Repo
gonna
is
say
just.
currently is irrelevant. Peak is what's relevant at that point.
Oh, we'll give it some time. But I feel like Repo does something different than those two
Oh, it
that
does.
just
I
makes it more enjoyable, at least in my
I
opinion.
I am
Right?
not denying. I am straight up saying it falls under a different category while having the same baseline. That
Yeah,
I
and I'm
am
not.
agreeing with you that it is better in its category. I
Yeah,
enjoy the
I'm
game
not arguing
more
that.
because it is a
Yeah.
better. I enjoy that category more,
Yeah.
but it is. I think it is a disservice not only to Lethal Company and Headliners, but to Repo to compare them as better than each other. They
Okay.
are not the same game and were not meant to be.
No, I know that, but it just time and time again there I've seen videos and TikToks and clips of people comparing them all the time, and that's just that part kind of annoys me because I agree with you, Soom. I agree to you, and you too, Rabbit. Like I think they should not be compared. But when people compare it anyway, it just kind of puts me in a position to where I kind of have to do the counter to that, or I don't have to, but I want to because I actually genuinely like Repo. Headliners, yeah, great game, but honest to God, I was bored with it after the first 20 minutes of playing, and you can
That's
see that in my own stream. Like when I
kind of
was
why I
streaming
was
with you
like, I
guys,
beat it once, I'm good.
yeah, no,
Like
that's what
I
I'm saying. Like
it
I'm with Zoom on that. Like I think it was fun for what it is, but maybe just it's just not my game.
I
And
think
I'm not
it's
saying it's a bad
I,
game in a sense,
I think
but
Headliners currently it's going through a metamorphosis right now because I do agree with the sentiment. Headliners is very much a one and done kind of. Once you've played it,
it
you pretty much got it.
it lacks variety and change.
I will
Yeah.
say this though. I will say this, and I know this point is going to come up anyway, but it really depends on who you play with. It really
Oh,
depends
Yeah.
on all those
that
games.
all those
Depends
games. It
yeah.
on
is
who you
definitely
play with.
who you play
And
with.
that
Who
is
you play with.
something
Yeah.
contingent in almost every multiplayer game that isn't
Yeah.
uh I don't like there are some that it really doesn't matter. Like if you look at Diablo, it doesn't fucking matter who you play Diablo with. If you're playing with people, you're playing with people. If you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
Uh Call of Duty, if you're just going in random lobbies, yeah, it's gonna suck if one of your teammates isn't pulling their weight, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's still a Call of Duty game.
Right.
But
Yeah.
when it comes to games like this where it's not just you having fun by yourself and other people are there, it really is highly dependent. And that goes for a lot of multiplayer games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know, with Repo,
I
I
am gonna
played that with
I'm gonna
sorry,
give
Rabbit, go.
you George. I looked up the charts. Repo
Okay.
hands down beats out for Steam charts specifically beats out the Headliners. Headliners peak was 6,315. Repo's peak all time peak was 271,571.
What the fuck? It was more than that?
Yeah,
Just
so but what I'm seeing of the charts, especially since
Trending
they
downwards.
roughly launched about the same time,
Mhm.
Headliners has just kind of been downtrending a lot, while Repo's just been going up and up and up. And Repo released
Wait,
after Headliners.
what
okay.
the fuck?
So Repo barely beat out Lethal Company on peak at this point.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Like, and that's not surprising because I'm going to be honest here as well.
Lethal
Lethal
Company
Company
didn't
hit
have
a
anything
niche.
to
Le-
compare against. Yeah.
Lethal Company was the first to hit its niche. Not necessarily the first, don't get me wrong, but the first. Kind of like
First to
Among
get
Us did. Among Us
Yeah.
baffles me though, because it came out like 2-3 years earlier than it got popular, but it had a very odd outside influence on that one.
Didn't that come out
Well,
during
yeah,
COVID though?
yeah.
It
It
didn't come
was.
out during COVID. That's the thing.
No, it
Oh.
got popular during COVID. It released
Okay.
2 years
Okay.
prior.
Yeah, that's what I was
Alright.
saying. Like it came out well before COVID. It had an outside influence, i.e., COVID, to make it popular.
Yeah.
And
But
it wasn't even the first of its niche, really.
but I will
Gotcha,
say,
gotcha.
looking at the max timeline for Lethal Company, Headliners, and Repo, Lethal Company and Headliners have a very similar trending graph. Very beginning, huge spike, and then it just slowly trails off. Repo is the opposite. It just slowly ramped up and it just went up and stayed up.
What the fuck? Hold on.
I don't know, like to me, like, and again, it's gonna come from personal experience, right? I played Lethal Company with a myriad of people, you
Here,
guys included.
You know what? I could show you guys. What am I
I've
doing?
had what the heck? What the heck?
So yeah, here's the chart for Lethal Company.
Okay. I bet.
Headliners,
I bet.
and then
What the fuck?
Repo.
What the fuck?
Headliners did dog shit, huh?
Yeah, Headliners did absolutely horrible.
Huh.
Yeah, whenever y'all were talking about it, I'd never heard of it. And then
Oddly, I had heard of it.
but to be fair, I didn't know about Repo until like the day it came out. It was actually Septic who was like, "Hey, dude, this game came out today. We were looking forward to it. Do you want to play it?" And I was like, "What is it?" It's like Lethal Company, but actually fun. And I'm like,
But
I
actually
didn't like-
fun.
But I'm like, wait a
I'm going to
minute,
be honest.
hold
That
on.
is a great description of it because Lethal Company, while
Yes.
fun, is very easy to sweat and takes the joy out of it.
Yes.
And that
Repo.
same
I
Repo is
think
hard to sweat.
the biggest thing with Repo that is both good and annoying
Yeah.
is no time limit.
Oh, you're right. I
The
just noticed
one
that there's no time limit.
Yeah,
Fuck.
there is no time limit. So if you die, you could be dead for an hour if the people that you're spectating either don't revive you or just take forever to leave. And granted, the game will find a way to make sure that they die at some point with the amount of aggressiveness the monsters become at the end when you're
Yeah.
supposed to extract.
Some people take that as a challenge. It's like, I'll take them on.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got a weapon for the first time in that game, a shooting weapon specifically, and immediately was like, I'm gonna take on anything, and then proceeded to end my own existence at one point.
I don't know what it is about Repo, right? If you ask me like what makes it so good or what makes it so fun, I don't fucking know. It could range from like the clunkiness of the controls or the goofiness of the robots that you are, or the monsters themselves and how they interact with the environment, or just playing with your friends and the
It's
stupid shit
It's
I
you
was
can
gonna
all
do.
say
of the above.
yeah, I was gonna say it is all of the above, George. It is not
Because
It's
a
all the
single
above, yeah.
thing that makes
I,
that game fun.
I
It is all of
I will
them.
say that Repo, I feel like, is less so compared to the others when it comes to the people that you play with really determine the enjoyment of the game.
Yeah.
Um and there obviously are strong moments where that is the case, but when you compare it to Lethal Company or Headliners where there's time limits and Headliners, you have to make sure to extract with all your cameras, otherwise you're gonna lose stuff. And if
Yeah.
someone's being a dumbass and dying alone in a corner, taking their camera with them, and they got maybe the best shot, well, things are screwed at that point.
Now you got to
And
try hard at that point to get that camera back.
yeah, exactly. So it's just, or you don't even know that they're dead because the nature of all of these, because it's prox chat, they could have died behind a wall, and you would have never known.
Which is
Like,
what I like about Repo's map upgrade.
yes,
Oh yeah.
Player count map upgrade. It's very nice because it takes that away only if for the one person who has it.
Yeah.
And so if
Yeah, I
they
don't know
get
everybody.
fucked, well,
It's like, wait,
well,
where did Jimmy go?
what I also like, because it seems to be hit and miss sometimes for me, but the red dot that appears on the screen is a player's head.
yes,
Yeah.
correct. It has to have been ID'd by a player before it shows up on the screen.
Well, that's just it. I feel like it half the time it doesn't seem like that's the case for when I play. It's like no one was looking at it, but I look at my map. Oh, there's a red dot.
Yeah. And again, like my stance is, I'm not, I don't want any. I'm not dissing Lethal Company. I'm not dissing Headliners, and they're good games in their own right. I just I really did enjoy for myself Repo, and it's something
I
that I've
I
had
have
trouble. What's up?
enjoyed this, George. I have
Oh, thank
enjoyed
you.
your. I don't want to compare them, but I'm gonna compare them.
I'm gonna do it anyway. Fuck it. No, but like, it's just because for me, like, I really tried enjoying Lethal Company. I really did, and I played with a different myriad of people because I thought it was just the people like I was playing with. But no, even with people I genuinely enjoy playing with, like Rabbit and sometimes Sum, sometimes. But like,
What the fuck does that mean,
yeah,
brother? What?
I still had trouble enjoying myself playing Lethal Company, right?
I'm
And
going to be honest. I feel very similarly, or have felt
and
very similarly.
with Headliners, I knew for a fact, like I said, 20 minutes in, I was bored. And I knew for a fact I will not play this game again, probably because I don't find enjoyment in it. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But I get along with Rabbit and Otter and Jug and everybody else. I had a good time. It's just, it's not a game that for me, just something I just didn't want to, just didn't enjoy. But with Repo, right? I play with myriads of people. Some don't really mesh well with usually, but I actually ended up having fun with, and it's like this is actually really fun. I don't, so for me, that's what I kind of base it off on my own little scale. Like, regardless of who I play with, I can still have some fun with this game, and that's why I think I like Repo more than the other two, and I think
Yeah.
that's why I have a more bias towards that because I've had better experiences with that game,
I
regardless
think
of who I'm
most
with or
people
whatever.
are in the same boat as you. I mean, the stats kind of speak volumes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
again, I'm not
I
no diss towards Lethal Company or Headliners. They are good games in their own right. It's just
I
not
also
something
want
I
to
enjoy.
address part of like the stats speaking volumes. You also do have to consider the fact that Lethal Company and not so much Headliners, I'm going to be honest, uh, kind of paved the way for the genre a little bit.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
They absolutely they walked so Repo could run
Absolutely. I
kind
Yep.
will
of deal.
never deny. I will never argue that. Yeah.
Like whenever
Re-
it comes to video games or really books, movies, anything, the first one does good, does well. The
yeah.
second and third are the ones that really take off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it happens.
It's
I mean,
like a it's like
there's
a
been plenty of games like it. Like
yeah,
Helldivers too.
yeah. That's true. Love that game. But anyway, I hate to be that guy, but I got to run, so we got to end it
Dude,
here.
I have been waiting for you to end this.
Anyway, guys,
You are the
that's been
guy who
our-
has to do it.
That's been our podcast. Thank you guys so much. My name is George 2D. That's Rabbit Hat Plays, and that's Somebunny. Links and
You forgot
descriptions
my
for
name.
all of our channels will be in the description.
You forgot my name.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.